Thank you very much. Can we get a round of applause for Esax, please? My man Jared, give him a round of applause. Putting this together, fabulous. I just got off a plane yesterday. See, I'm a little brown. I was in Dominican Republic. People were saying that it was a little cold here. Well, how many people here would love to be in Dominican right now? How many people, if you want to be in Dominican Republic right now, say, yeah! Yeah! I don't think you want to go to Dominican Republic. If you want to go to Dominican Republic right now, say, yeah! Yeah! What's the weather outside? Minus 10. It's getting warmer. We're improving. Well, you know what? We're not in Dominican Republic. We're in Ottawa. Minus 10, getting warmer. It's getting better. But guess what? You guys are here. You're entrepreneurs. You're working on your business. How many entrepreneurs here? Make some noise. Entrepreneurs. And how many people here are ready with their goals? You know what you want to achieve this year. 2 people here up front. 1 in the back. 1 lady there. Are you serious? Okay. If you're ready with your goals this year, right now for 2014, you're about to rock this year. Say, yeah! Yeah! That's a little better. Now, we do this every year, don't we? We write the things that we want to do. And if you've ever written a goal down and you've talked yourself out of it, raise your hand. Be honest. Why do we do that? Why? Why do we do that? Fear? Lack of what? Self-belief. So, to conquer this for 2014, I'm going to ask everybody to look at your neighbor beside you and grab their hand. Grab her hand. Grab your neighbor's hand. Grab your neighbor's hand. Grab your neighbor's hand. You're going to look into their eyes. Look into their eyes. And you're going to repeat after me. The very best possibilities in your life are coming your way. Whatever you want wants you. So get out of the way. Give yourselves a round of applause, please. So I'm here to talk about goals like no one's ever talked about them before. I have a 3-step philosophy for anybody to achieve anything in 90 days. So before I get into my 3-step process, I want to tell you a little bit about my background, my story. Is that okay? Some people, yeah. Well, how many people remember being 15 years old? 15 years old? 15? Some people were just there. You guys are, a little young. But that was me, 15 years old. I was homeless, a high school dropout, and I was panhandling for change on Rideau Street, downtown Ottawa. At 15, I had a lot of excuses. I had a lot of reasons why my life was the way it was. First, I was angry at my life. I was angry at the world. And I was angry at the people in the world. I remember thinking to myself, if everybody would just change, my life would be okay. Right? If everybody changed, I would be all right. You see, I was born in El Salvador in 1977. Does anybody know where El Salvador, San Salvador is? El Salvador? It's a little bit warmer than here, but some people don't know. And during that time, there was a civil war. My mom was owner and director of API News Agency, a news agency that would often report about civil rights abuses being committed by our government. Governments don't like that. One indicator was some soldiers came through our house, through our courtyard, and kicked one of the doors where I was sleeping in a crib. I was 2 years old, and he had a machete gun, no sorry, not a machine gun, pointed to my head. I'm 2 years old. Obviously, my mom came and diffused the situation. But that's the kind of threats my mom was working under, reporting the truth. My mom was eventually she was shut down and she was thrown in prison to serve a 30-year sentence. A huge violation of your freedom of rights. I was 2 years old at the time, and I went to live with my grandparents where they kept me in hiding for over 3 years. How many people have kids, between 2 and 5 at home? Or grandkids or niece? Well, that was me. I was basically a prisoner for 3 years until Amnesty International and other government entities stepped in and helped us, brought us to Canada. And when you come to Canada, you think you're free, right? We're free in Canada, right? Well, our government was so powerful, and they didn't want us to share our story, so they sent death squads to find us in Montreal. We were running for our lives in Montreal. We went to women's shelters until it was no longer safe for us to be here in Canada. So we actually fled Canada. Everybody's trying to come to Canada. We had to flee Canada. It wasn't safe. We went back to Latin America, Nicaragua. How many people know Nicaragua? Just testing your geography. Beautiful country, beautiful. We would have stayed. But another war broke out in that country, and we were on the run once again. Now, we were running from wars and corrupt governments. So by the time I was 9 years old, that's when I actually settled back in Canada. I remember we were put in a motel with a lot of other landing refugees. That's where I saw colored television for the very first time in my life. I remember thinking, wow, Canada. I felt the abundance here. I felt that anything is possible. How many people believe that anything is possible in this country? I had missed a lot of educational opportunities because we were running so much. School was tough for me. I was diagnosed with some disabilities, and I was labeled disabled and put in special ed. They said, you will never make something of yourself. I got frustrated and eventually dropped out of high school at 15 years old. Can you guys remember when you were 15? The world is scary. I did whatever I had to do to survive. I slept in banks. I panhandled. And my goals, we're talking about goals tonight, but my biggest goal at 15 years old was to round up $7 in change so I can go buy myself a bottle of XXX sherry. At 17 was my tipping point. My girlfriend at the time tells me she's pregnant, it's mine, and she's going to keep the baby. And I didn't really realize what this means. I was going to be a father. But when they put this little girl in my arms, everything changed. Everything. I wanted this little girl to be proud of me. I wanted her to say, my dad owns the building, not my dad cleans the building. At that point, I found purpose. Raise your hand if you found purpose yet. That's a driving force, my man.
Yes.
Purpose is powerful. I decided to go back to high school. I graduated high school with a vision, a dream, and an idea of opening my very own business. But I had no money, no credentials, I had no credit, I had no resources, I didn't have anybody in my family that would lend me money. People thought I was just crazy. And I don't know if you've ever had that goal where somebody else is talking you out of the goal. Raise your hand if that's happened to you. Well, I managed to convince some of my friends. We've all pulled in some money. I raised $2,700. But where are we going with $2,700? I mean, that's how much we put on gas, don't we? $2,700. I took those $2,700 and I turned it into a company, a clothing company, with 15 locations across Canada, grossing over millions in sales, manufacturing our own brands and products in China, distributing those products through Canada, and I just became this serial entrepreneur, and I fell in love with business. That was my aha moment, where I knew that that's what I was going to do for the rest of my life. Have you ever had your aha moment? Raise your hand. Have you ever had your aha moment? Say, yeah. Yeah. But I've come to ask you a question. How did I go from being a 15-year-old, war-torn, homeless high school dropout to running a successful corporation before the age of 20? Did I get lucky? Did the world change? Did people change? I discovered that for things to change in my life, at 17 years old, what I discovered that I had to change. You see, the power is always in your hands. My daughter's turning 19 years old this year. She says, my dad owns the building. That's the power of purpose. But then I started to, as I was learning on my journey, learning about business, and discovering CDs, books. People have come and done this before. It's not magic. There's a reason, a logical reason why this was happening to me. I developed my own personal philosophy on success. I made it simple. I've narrowed it down to 3 simple steps that anybody can follow in order to live your life of your dreams, in order to achieve your goals for 2014. I discovered that for things to change, you have to change. Your current you, the results that you have, and where you're going in life, and the person that's living your dream life are 2 completely different people. Jim Rohn said, success is what you attract by the person you become. Success is what you attract by the person you become. The name of my book is, From the Ground Up, You're 3 Steps Away from Living the Life of Your Dreams. And these 3 steps are the ones I'm going to show. I'm going to give you a little glimpse of the steps. How many people are ready for the 3 steps? If you're ready, say, I'm ready. I'm ready. If you're ready, say, I'm ready. I'm ready. All right. You want to get your pens out. You want to write this down. Step number 1. Here we go. This is for 2014. This is how you're going to achieve everything you're going to achieve everything you've ever wanted this year. You're going to do it in 3 simple steps. Step number 1. Figure out exactly what you want. You see, you ask people, what do you want? They don't even know what they want. It's not, oh, I want to make my business a big success. That's too general. The more specific, the better. The more details, the better. Write it down. I'm going to tell you how powerful writing things down is. When my daughter was born, I took a job as a dishwasher. How many people here have ever been a dishwasher? Raise your hand. You know you're at the very bottom. And every day I would go in the back and I would write down my goals and dreams. And one day a line cook came and ripped this paper out of my hand and was kind of making fun of me, like reading it out loud to everybody else. But the funny thing was that I achieved everything on that piece of paper before 20 years old. That's the power of writing things down, because then it becomes real. The second thing about finding what you want, and it needs to be in balance. If you don't want balance, it'll be a discord. Can't just be about Ferraris and X amount of dollars. Step number 2. Figure out who is the you that is living that life of your dreams. Who do you have to become in order to achieve those goals. You see, everything you have right now is because of the person you are. In order to have more, you must become more. But what? Who do you have to become? It needs to be in detail. It needs to be very specific. How do you walk? How do you talk? How do you dress? Who do you know? What do you know? What kind of people you associate with? There must be a corresponding person in your mind that links to your goals. You see, your goals are up here, but if you're still this kind of person, you're not a vibrational match to your goals. And step number 3, which is the most important step. Are you ready? If you're ready, say I'm ready. I'm ready. I gotta make sure you guys are still paying attention. Step number 3, become that person now. This very second, the second you decide to become, that's when you have the power to move mountains. If I ask everybody here, do you want it? Say yes. Do you want it? Yes. Everybody will say yes. I want it. But they're unwilling to become it. You must be it first. Then you will have it. Then you will attract the right people, the right circumstances, and the right ideas to match the person that you've become. And that's how you put the power in your hands for 2014 and take this year by storm in 3 simple steps. If you guys want to know a little bit more about my steps, you can see me over here. I have a workshop this weekend, which we're going to be giving away some tickets. Full day. It's called Life by Design. And this is your year. Are you guys ready for 2014? Say yeah! Yeah! All right. Thank you very much.